been tagged a few times in the Passport Bro Goes to Morocco clip from TLC. So I am going to play a clip from the TikTok user Shonda. I'm going to use her clip to jump into my thoughts on this whole conversation about modern women and traditional women. Because it is a conversation to be had, but it is interesting to see it play out on TV and in this clip. So go ahead and watch this clip from Shonda, and I will be in on the back end.
I think the issue with modern men and modern women in the dating arena is that there are so many modern men that want traditional women without having to be traditional men. What am I talking about? Let me let him explain.
And typically in an Arab household, the man usually is the provider financially, and that's just how it is.
That is just something I wasn't prepared for.
Most Arab women expect that.
Just like most American people expect the woman to contribute half. Or not half, just contribute.
But you're not dealing with an American woman.
No, but she'd have to deal with some of my things, though, too.
This was definitely not what I wanted to hear. I thought Moroccan women prioritize family over material things, and I was not anticipating that it would mean I have to be the sole provider for a household. I didn't sign up for this.
So what do you mean you weren't prepared to be a sole provider? Like, who raised some of these men? They are so adamant that they want a traditional woman, but they also want that traditional woman to be modern enough to expect to have to pay bills. This man goes on to say that he wants an independent, financially independent woman who will have his kids and clean and be submissive and all these other things. Why would she do all of that? Like, you realize that the women in here in America won't even take that deal. So they get their passports and they globe trot all over the world trying to find a woman vulnerable enough, desperate enough, in search of citizenship enough to take that deal. This is predatory behavior. When you're looking for a woman who wants to have access to the benefits and the perks and the rights that we have as Americans, because they don't have those rights in their country, but you're going to make her earn it. She's going to have to earn it by you making a mule out of her, expecting her to do more than you're doing. So why should she do all of that for your 50% of the bills? Like, the deal isn't being accepted by American women, and you're realizing that it's not going to be accepted by women in other countries either, because it's a bad deal and you know it. And oftentimes these women in other countries, they're going to expect you to send money back home to their parents and their siblings and their families back home. Like, you think that you're saving money. You're trying to find a good woman for a discount by shopping all around. But she's also going to expect you to provide for her as well. Once you expect a woman to have your child and her ability to work like your ability to work is changed, you're going to have to provide for that woman. When you want her to stay home, how's she going to stay home and work 40 hours a week? Like, some of you have no idea what you're asking. Or maybe you do, but you don't care. Why should she run herself into the ground? And what does she get? A discount on bills? A discount. Because you're not even willing to pay the whole thing. Like, you want provider benefits without having to actually be a provider. You let somebody speak long enough and they'll tell you everything you need to know. And the men are beginning to say the quiet part out loud. We weren't expecting to take care of any woman. American woman, woman overseas. We were expecting a servant. They're not looking for partnership. They're looking for ownership.
She is absolutely right. These men talk ad nauseum about modern women and feminism and all of this stuff. But in reality, they need women to work. They are not able to be traditional in a sense of carrying the traditional role, as in providing completely for a household. They're not able to do that. I remember a couple of years ago when Kitten Heels came onto the scene, and the words modern women kept being repeated over and over and over. And at that point, I was just a stay-at-home mom. I was not generating income. And I would talk about the fact that my husband was a provider. And then when you would talk about what goes into being a provider and your response and the man's responsibilities, that's when you start to get the pushback, like, well, racism prevents me from being a sole provider, and racism this, and we haven't had the opportunity to do. then why are you even talking about this? You're a modern man. You cannot straddle the fence. You either are modern or you're traditional. You cannot straddle the fence. What they want women to hand over the money. They want to be in charge. They want to feel like they are in charge without getting the input of the woman. But they can't afford it on their income, and they know it. So they need the ego boost, but they also need the influx of cash from the woman. And you cannot have it both ways. At this particular point, men need to admit that there are responsibilities that they do not want. So go after what you want and what you can afford. And I don't even want to say it like that because that is bad, because women shouldn't be bought and paid for. But that's what they really want. They want patriarchy on a budget. That's all they want. They want to have the final say in everything. They need women's unpaid labor in the home, but they need their paid labor outside of the home. And that's literally where they are and where we are. They might go on and on and on about modern women. And I believe that is projection, because they know that they cannot afford what a patriarchy is asking of them. So they might as well just come over and accept the fact that they are modern men. That is my take on it. But you guys go ahead and weigh in.